would have a government of the people, by the people, and for the people. A thought comes to my mind. What would happen to her democratic constitution? Will she be able to maintain it, or will she lose it again? If we wish to maintain democracy not merely in form, but also in fact, what must we do? The first thing in my judgment we must do is to hold on to constitutional methods of achieving our social and economic objectives. It means we must abandon the bloody methods of revolution. It means that we must abandon the method of civil disobedience, non-cooperation, and satyagraha. Where constitutional methods are open, there can be no justification for these unconstitutional methods. These methods are nothing but the grammar of anarchy. And sooner they are abandoned, the better for us. The second thing we must do is to observe the caution which John Stuart Mill has given to all who are interested in the maintenance of democracy. Namely, not to lay their liberties at the feet of even a great man, or to trust him with power which enables him to subvert their institutions. This caution is far more necessary in the case of India than in case of any other country. For in India, bhakti, or what may be called the path of devotion or hero worship, plays a part in its politics unequaled in magnitude by the part it plays in the politics of any other country in the world. The third thing we must do is not to be content with mere political democracy. These principles of liberty, equality, and fraternity are not to be treated as separate items in a trinity. Liberty cannot be divorced from equality. Equality cannot be divorced from liberty. Nor can liberty and equality be divorced from fraternity. On the 26th of January 1950, we are going to enter into a life of contradictions. In politics, we will have equality. And in social and economic life, we will have inequality. In politics, we will be recognizing the principle of one man, one vote, and one vote, one value. In our social and economic life, we shall, by reason of our social and economic structure, continue to deny the principle of one man, one value. How long shall we continue to live this life of contradictions? How long shall we continue to deny equality in our social and economic life? If we continue to deny it for long, we will do so only by putting our political democracy in peril. We must remove this contradiction at the earliest moment, or else those who suffer from inequality will blow up the structure of this political democracy so laboriously built up by this assembly.
डॉक्टर अंबेडकर के बोले गए शब्द आज भी जैसे इस सदन में गूंजते रहते हैं। अब सिर्फ एक काम बचा था, संविधान का अनुमोदन और उस पर सारे सदस्यों के हस्ताक्षर।
It now remains to put the motion moved by Dr. Ambedkar to the vote of the House. The question is that the constitutions settled by this assembly be passed. motion is adopted.